Hey, what up to another what up YouTube and whatever. This is another album review, classic album review. Uh I'm going to review the fourth studio album by Kiss called Destroyer. This is their most famous album. Okay, it's the fourth studio album. It was released March 15th, 1976. It was the third successive Kiss album to reach the top 40 in the US, as well as the first to chart Germany and New Zealand. The album was certified gold on and platinum of the same year, and the first Kiss album to achieve platinum. This album marked the departure and the raw sound of the band's first three albums, which I didn't like because I like the rawness of the first three albums because when they came out with the Destroyer album, they started to they started to become more commercialized. It started to become more mainstream. I don't like when bands like this become more mainstream. Um, like those first three albums show Kiss in their pure essence. But like this album, Destroyer, had some good songs. But like even though the most popular song, the most well known song on here is called Beth. Beth, which is a piano tuned somber song sung by their then drummer Peter Criss. And of course, they had songs like "God of Thunder" and "Detroit Rock City" and "Flaming Youth" and "Shout It Out Loud." I'm not really a fan of "Shout It Out Loud." That is not my favorite song by that is not my favorite song by Kiss. I never was a fan of "Shout It Out Loud," but I like songs like Detroit Rock City and "Flaming Youth." I like that song and "Sweet Pain." Well, like of course, Kiss stood to their typical. Yeah, of course, it followed to the typical rock and roll and typical sound and vibe that Kiss was known for, singing about girls having sex and having a good time and partying. It's basically the sex and rock and roll without the drugs, even though Ace and Peter were doing drugs at the time. But like this still had that feeling vibe to it. Uh, it also featured like a this album also featured like the New York Philharmonic, and it featured it also featured some members of Alice Cooper's band who played for Ace Frehley, on the album Sweet Pain, because like during the time that they came out with this album, like Ace Frehley was beefing with Gene and Paul during the time, so they had to Gene and Paul had to recruit some of Alice Cooper's band members to fill in Ace's guitar parts. Like if you ask me, I also heard that these some of these songs were from the Dress to Kill sessions, which I'm not surprised because Destroyer does sound like a continuation of Dress to Kill, album that I like better than this one. But to this day, I still don't see why this is their best album because I've heard better songs, way better songs on their on the albums that came before it and the albums that came after it. I like songs that came before and after this one. I've heard them blow the songs on a Destroyer out of the water. In my opinion, that's like a Destroyer is not his best work. That's just my opinion because I like the other albums. The other albums sounded way better than Destroyer, even though Destroyer is put at the top of that list. I've heard songs that sound better than Destroyer, albums that sound better than Destroyer. The best songs on here are Detroit Rock City, God of Thunder, Flaming You, Sweet Pain, Shout It Out Loud, and Beth. From a scale of 1 to 10, I give this a 6. From a scale of 1 to 20, I give this a 16.